that solve business problems. Well, the difference between a website and community is really sort of kind of nebulous right now. And a lot of websites have a community component to them, but the ability to provide communities, the only reason our business is positioned to do that is because when we were making all that money doing those websites, we took some of that and hired a strategist to help point us in this community direction. We followed it and we started testing it on ourselves, creating our own demos, and so that we could showcase those demos to all of our clients. And we happened to have one client who said, "I have a need and it's in your wheelhouse. I saw that demo you gave me and I want you to do one of these." And I said, "All right, well, you got it, you nailed it. This is definitely something that we're really good at." Of course, we'd only done it once for ourselves, but we did it again. We replicated 90 days. We basically took it from doing it for ourselves to doing it for our client, and we were very honest about it. Actually, when we did it, they asked us, "So who else have you done this for?" And I said, "Well, for ourselves, and you're our flagship client. And we're going to make you very happy at the end of this." And we did. And then what we found is 6 months later, they wanted another community. This time, rather than being a developer community, they wanted an internal collaboration platform. And then we found one of our clients that we've been working with for 10 years said, "We've been working with you on all this web stuff, but we need a strategic partner who understands how to build communities. Do you guys know how to do that?" And I was able to take all of that experience that we had just done with this flagship client that took a risk, and I said, "Yeah, we've done this." And now all of a sudden, all of the revenue streams that were benefiting us before, now they're directed towards a completely new service that we're providing, which has to do. It's a lot less content and creative driven. It's a lot more technology oriented and community management related, and also sort of looking at organizational change management issues that didn't come into play as much when we were just building websites, even though they are still important in that arena. So it's really exciting to be able to say that we have transformed our business in 4 years, because I think I've already mentioned to you about another time we liquidated the company. The ability to sort of transform, to bootstrap once and to get to 45 people strong in 2001 after 7 years of business was exciting, but when we liquidated, we were really frightened. In either case, we sort of plodded through, and we got to this sort of place in 2006 where we knew we were successful again, and the transformation was made complete just in December 2010 when we were hired by the 2.0 Adoption Council as their interactive agency of record because of our experience with bringing community into global businesses to impact their performance, so that they can remain competitive in this world where smaller businesses are leveraging these kinds of technologies and beating them. So they want, a lot of these sort of global businesses want to sort of embrace a lot of this bootstrapping or entrepreneurial sort of mindset within their own business. That's something that my firm is bringing. What else? All right, one more. I also, just with the idea of planning with probability in mind, I said, the wishing well will run dry if you draw upon it too often. So the idea being is that, wishing is great, but if you're always, just sort of betting on the fact that what you're wishing for will happen, you're going to reach a point where it doesn't happen, and then you're going to be faced with some sort of a crisis. So which you can still make your way through. Just don't pay yourself, or whatever decision it is. Keep your mind open, your options open. If you've done a good job of planning, you can see your way through anything, just about, it seems. But the last one is culture. Just in our business, the thing that I found that's been most important over the years is that we have developed a culture in the business that is strong. I've noticed over the years that there have been people who've come into the business who haven't. When people come into the business, I'm repeatedly told about this thing about there being some resistance internally. People don't always automatically get the respect that you think that people would deserve when they come into a business. Or at least what I would expect in my idealistic world. I would expect if no one had ever given me, if I was coming in for the first time and going to prove myself, that I would be given more, right away people would assume that I was a good fit and would help me fit in. Well, and honestly, in my business, it doesn't work that way. I've learned. It's not because of me, but the culture within our business is it's prove it to me, and then then you fit in. You have to sort of break the odds, or you have to sort of earn our respect before we let you inside. And that sort of culture is something that has permutated, but it's transcended as the business has changed. And I find people who come in who actually use terms like, I just feel like it hasn't quite clicked yet, or I talk to those people and I explain to them our culture and stuff, and you're gonna have to bust your ass and earn respect, and this and that and the other, and then I talk to our business about it, people in our business about it, and I say, you need to be more open to, you need to be more open and collaborative with people so that they can be successful up front, so that they can sort of earn your respect. And no matter what I say, I find that the culture at the end of the overall culture at the end of the day, sort of, I tend not to have as big of an impact as I'd like to have at that particular time on that specific issue, because our culture is so strong, it just naturally repels people who don't fit.
That's not a bad thing, though. Huh?
It's always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, and some people might actually bring something to your culture if you let them in. So complement your culture, in a positive way, and in a way that fits in the long run. But what I've found is that strong culture has created is a really fundamental piece of why we've been successful. Because when the chips were down, we all sort of came together and we toughed it out. Because we all had this sort of common set of values and drivers at some real core fundamental level that it's hard really even to explain, that we've been working together. Several of us have been working together in some capacity for 10 years. And, some of us have known each other as long as 20 years on a personal level. And so a lot of shared history with one another, and a lot of relationships and interactions that ultimately have affected the way we process information and how we succeed. And so I talk about not having an impact on that, but then I also, sort of to give the whole picture, I also think that as an owner or bootstrapper in the business, that you can't underestimate just how much impact you're going to have on the culture of your business. So oftentimes in businesses like ours, it's actually you who defines the sort of major attributes of that culture.